Right, so this is Metacritical attempt numero dos. Right, so the first prompt: what has a project made me think about in broader concept immigration, American society, and history? So in the context of immigration, this project definitely made me think about how tough immigrants had it back then, because obviously immigrants, I imagine, I'm not an immigrant, but come on now, have it pretty tough now, so, especially for Mexico and stuff. But back then, they obviously had it pretty rough too, because my project focused on Filipinos, but by proxy, also a bit about Chinese and Japanese immigrants towards the US as well. And they all kind of face the same general racial prejudices and general racism, bigotry, all that fun stuff. And it was pretty rough back then, too. That definitely surprised me a bit. And in the context of American society and history, it's still pretty related to that. It feels like general phobias and being mean to others it's kind of our thing. Um, that sucks, but right, like I said, now it feels like there's a lot of phobias and hatred and scaredness of things that people don't know about going around now in the US of A. And from the points I made in my essay, it feels like that was definitely a thing back then too, which is surprising me because I was always told, and it's still true, right? America was founded on immigrants and lots of immigrants because the people who founded it were immigrants from, oh man, talked about this in class, so I should probably know this. I don't know, places like Britain. That's not like actually know where we're from, but it was founded by immigrants, and a big chunk of it, like I think America is pretty racially diverse. I'm not positive, but I feel like it is. Not in Portland, but so that does surprise me that there can be so many immigrants here and all these different people, and they've always had it really rough coming here. Um, what did you learn about yourself as a learner researcher? I definitely learned I'm a lot better at using JSTOR sources, and I just remembered the word for this, and I was really proud of myself remembering it. But on yes, databases and finding more academic articles, like the book reviews and stuff written by people. I'm a lot better at that than I thought I was because I remember this is the first essay where I've like actually done a good job finding them. And I remember the first essay I had to do them. I was like, come on, this is stupid. Because I can learn more from history.net. And I have gotten, a couple like fishy pop ups from there. So it's probably a sign that it's not great for news and information. But this project, I was definitely able to realize those sources that aren't sketchy can be very helpful. This is the first one where I definitely learned more from the academic JSTOR sources than doing a quick Google search. How did the narrating process go? I think it went pretty smoothly because I just kind of picked a topic. I was like, what had the shortest word count? This one had 1,000 to 1,250. Those were 1,250 to 1,500. So, yes, I picked this one. But I'm definitely glad I did because the Filipino thing is legitimately interesting. How they were considered, half citizens and couldn't get benefits of them and all that. But yeah, I didn't need to narrow much because I just kind of picked Filipino immigrants, and thanks to my first source, which was actually good, I realized fairly quickly that how citizenship is really interesting. How they, like the U.S. they didn't own the Philippines. I said that in the last one. They didn't own the Philippines, but they didn't. They owned isn't the right word, but the Philippines was a U.S. territory. I think that's what it is, and I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, and so they should be citizens if they come from U.S. territory, but no, they didn't like them because I'm sure it's because they looked Asian, right? They looked different. So that's probably a pretty big reason why the U.S. didn't want to give them citizenship. What worked well? The sources I found were pretty good. I think that worked really like shockingly well. Um, and I definitely had some troubles with paragraph ordering. Not that much, but I did have some troubles with it. But I'm glad I settled on what I did for the final of the essay. So I think that paragraph thing was done well. What I do differently? No, nothing. I like what I did. This worked pretty well.